Dragon Sea Classic is finally here, but before you gear up and dive in, let us break down everything you need to know, from who can play to future updates, and of course whether should you play the game. As the game name implies, Dragon Sea is mainly for players in the Southeast Asia region, meaning players in countries like Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, the Philippines can pre-register and download the game when it launches. So, can players outside sea join the fun? Well, maybe. Due to service policies, some regions are restricted, meaning if you're from the EU, Africa, or Oceania, you might have trouble even pre-registering. So if you're unsure whether your country is blocked, just hit out the pre-registration page and see if it lets you in. The pre-registration period is already ongoing at the time this video is released, and it will end on March 19th. And for those eager to jump in early, beta testing is happening from March 11th to 13th. So definitely don't miss out. The game will start with 4 base classes just like before. These classes are the Warrior, Archer, Cleric, and Sorceress. But once you hit your first specialization, you will be able to select one of 2 classes which will have different sets of skill branches. The game will launch at 32 cap instead of the 24 cap of Dragon's initial release. But let's be honest, the real question is how long will level 32 cap last? Because let's face it, fighting only 2 nests per week, which are the Minotaur nest and the Cerberus nest, is going to get old really fast. Luckily, the developers have already confirmed that there are going to be future updates, so expect that cap to rise sooner rather than later. If you have played Dragon since its initial launch, you will know that leveling back in the day was pain. Hours of dungeon grinding just to hit the maximum level before the real content began. But this time, leveling has been made easier. While no exact numbers were given, you can expect a smoother ride compared to the original. That said, I still expect to see newbies in Calderock Village begging for boosting services. Now you might be wondering, does it still look like the classic Dragon Nest? The devs have preserved the old school aesthetic while tweaking the UI for better usability, so it's still that good old game that we used to play after rushing back from school, just with a few quality of life upgrades. Platform-wise, it's Windows CC only for now. Sorry Mac users, but it looks like you need a Windows setup to play the game. So, should you jump into Dragon Sea Classic? Well, if you miss the nostalgia, the thrilling combat and raiding with friends, the simple yet chaotic PvP, then absolutely. But if you're worried about the updates, monetization, and the region locks, maybe wait and see how things develop. Either way, Dragon Sea Classic is back, and it's time for you to decide whether you are going back into the game. Drop a comment below, are you playing Dragon Sea Classic when it launches? And I will see you in game.